Hello, good morning once again. Thank you very much for staying with NewDay on TV3. All right, so what we are going to be doing now is to talk to two gentlemen, in fact, three people, two gentlemen and a lady. They are coming up, or they have come up with a particular project that would interest you. So you would want to stay with us. Let me introduce them, then I'll tell you what it is about. We have Teun Mulepes. He is Building Bridges founder from the Netherlands. And then also we have Jill van Schaik. He is the Dutch UN Youth Representative. And then in between the two gentlemen, we have a beautiful lady, Abena Benewa Fosu, Building Bridges Ghana Ambassador. Now, what they have done is that they rode on bicycles from the Netherlands to Ghana. That's quite interesting. So before I go to them, two young men have embarked on a cycling mission from Amsterdam to Cape Town to picture the post of 2015 agenda from different perspectives. Now, a perspective they believe would focus on the priorities of young people's vision of the world beyond 2030. And they've joined us in studio with a lady to tell us about what the Building Bridges project is about. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
All right, first time in Ghana?
Yes, first time in Ghana.
Okay, good. And what has the reception been like?
It has been amazing. We arrived at the border from Côte d'Ivoire, and it was a warm day, so we sweat a lot, but the people were just amazing.
Yeah, okay, good. You also rode on a bicycle?
Yeah, we rode on bicycles from Amsterdam to here. Yeah.
Why? Who does that? Why would you choose to ride on a bicycle all the way from Amsterdam to Ghana?
That's another question.
Huh? No. What is the motivation?
Now, the motivation is Yield is the youth delegate to the United Nations from the Netherlands, and I work for the Dutch government, and we both saw a gap between young people like Yield and me and policymakers on each level, on local level, national level, but also on a global level. And we thought, why don't you bridge that gap by speaking with young people and tell the policymakers what young people think and what are their priorities. So we started thinking about how we can reach as much people as possible. And then we were thinking about a bike, because when you're on a bike you meet people on the street, you meet people when you stop, when you have a pause. And the nice thing of biking is we have our events in the capitals, like here in Accra. But we cycle in between those capitals, and then we just knock on doors at the end of the day and speak with people from all walks of life. Yeah.
And what is the message you're carrying?
The message is that young people are important to involve in the policy-making process. And they are the one, of course, they are the future, but they are the present right now, and they should be involved in making important decisions. Yeah.
Okay, the issue of gender equality also comes up strongly in the number of things you've brought up or you're discussing with the youth across the world and all the places you've been. Is it that there is a clear disparity, for which reason you think you would want to bridge that gap?
Yeah, when we talk about post-2015 and a new sustainable development agenda, we think that it should be as inclusive as possible and should leave no one behind. So that's why we hope to include the voice of young people and of young women. So that's why we have appointed youth ambassadors in each and every country we cycle through, and with them we have a special focus on gender equality. And Abena is an example of this. Can you clarify what you've been doing in Ghana?
Yes, and to bring in the Ghana perspective, let's talk to Abena Benewa Fosu. Abena, you are sitting. Did you also cycle? Are you also
no.
Okay. But what has Ghana's contribution, or what are we doing in Ghana to support this project?
Okay, so as he said, in every country they have youth ambassadors who organize events pertaining to the aim and aspirations of building bridges.
Okay.
And so here in Ghana, we had an event in Cape Coast, and then we had one here in Accra on Monday. So in Cape Coast, we had a press conference in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we had a youth consultation where we brought together various young people from youth organizations and student leaders, and we talked about issues pertaining to the development of young people in Ghana. We talked about education, we talked about employment, we talked about health and affordable nutrition, and it was great. It was nice to see young people so passionate about discussing their problems and excited about and producing solutions.
The participation from the Ghanaian folk, was it that encouraging?
Well, unfortunately for us, students in the tertiary institutions are writing exams, and so we couldn't get them in their numbers. But the ones that came did very well.
Okay. Back to you. My cycling colleagues. How's the response been from across all the other countries you've visited up until here?
Yeah.
What have the people been telling you? What are the signals you're picking up?
Yeah, it was an incredible ride so far. We met so many people. We met so many people with impressive stories, with stories who... we can give an example of someone we met in the north of Morocco. It was Mohammed, and he moved from the south of Morocco to the north of Morocco to get a better future, to get some salary to help his family and to start his own future. But the north of Morocco was even a problem as well, so he didn't have any opportunities anymore, and he was thinking about crossing the ocean in the summer to leave to Europe. But that was just a few days before we heard the news about the big accident in the sea. And it was so strange to talk with people who are the ones who are thinking about making that crossover. And those stories impressed us so much and motivate us to talk with young people from Amsterdam to Cape Town. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the future of this particular agenda going to be like?
Yeah, I think it's what we have to say. It's not about building bridges or about two guys cycling on a bicycle. It's about young people from Amsterdam to Cape Town, 2 continents, more than 21 countries, and over 17,000 kilometers. And if you talk about the post-2015 agenda, it's about creating a world we young people have to live in. So it's important that our voice is being included, that we are now at a table when they shape this new agenda. So if you look, for example, at the demographics, in Ghana, 45% of the population is under the age of 25. Around the world, half of the world's population is under the age of 30. So it's us young people who should be at the table, and we should be included in decision-making processes at all levels, whether it is at the UN, whether it is on national level or on local level. So
and is it something that you think they are enthused about, they are interested in, or there is the laid-back, lackadaisical attitude of the youth which we've known in the past?
No, it's amazing to see how much activism there is and how much positive energy. I can give you one example. I met a friend from Ghana who was in Brussels at the Africa-Europe Youth Leaders Summit.
Yeah.
And yesterday he came all the way from the north of the country. He took a bus for 18 hours to just attend the event and to have his voice be heard during the World We Want event at Accra University. And then in the evening he couldn't even stay for dinner with us because he had to catch the bus back to get to work the next day.
Oh.
I mean, if you have so much energy and so much passion to get 18 hours in a bus to attend an event for 3 hours and then go all the way back, then yeah, there is a lot of energy.
Okay, so how many more days are you going to be in Ghana, and what is the rest of the program lineup? And from here, where next?
We're going to leave tomorrow. After this morning session, we got a conversation with the director of Plan. It's an NGO over here. And we leave tomorrow by bike to Togo. And we're going to get our visit at the border. And there's a program as well. We're going to meet our young people as well. We're going to meet there some people who have their own NGOs and their own shops or their own companies. So we're going to meet young people who are active in all those roles, and we're going to speak with young people on the road as well.
Okay.
What I want to mention as well is that the Dutch embassy over here helped us very well. We have contact with the embassies, and they helped us very well. They think the role of young people is very important to involve, so they helped us very well. That's something good to mention as well.
Great. And I also want to know what happens when you visit a country and you leave. Do you have, like, you know, of course there is an ambassador, but what is the plan thereafter to keep the momentum?
Yeah, we hope to leave behind a sustainable youth network across 2 continents, 21 countries, and over 17,000 kilometers. So when this new agenda is adopted in the end of September by world leaders, and we will present the outcomes, it's up to us young people to remain involved, to hold our governments accountable, and to monitor the whole process.
Okay.
And for that, it's very important that the youth ambassadors stay active. So maybe Abena can tell about other projects she has been doing.
Yeah, well, what we hope to do is to make sure that it doesn't just end at the conference rooms. We have the consultations. We make sure that our voices are heard. We make sure that we assess the necessary platforms and opportunities available for young people to share their views. And currently I'm working on a project with some friends of mine in Kumasi called the Woman for Girl Initiative. And our goal is to make sure that young girls have aims and aspirations, and they have people to look up to. What we realized was that most young girls in rural areas have nobody to look up to. It's always been the same from generations to generations. The mothers sell, they go to the farms, and that's it. And so they have nobody to look up to. And so we decided that, well, it would be good to take to them women who have already made it, professional women, lawyers, doctors, nurses, fashion designers and all that. And so we take these women to the rural communities. They have breakout sessions. We call it street mentoring. So they talk to the girls, they teach them how to go about the various professions they would want to go into. Surprisingly, some of them, you ask them what they want to do and they just
They don't know.
They don't know. they have nothing to push them. And so, yeah, that's what we do. And we also have a section where we address a particular challenge the girls in the community face. And so far, we've realized that the main challenge is with their sexual reproductive health and rights. Mm-hmm. They get pregnant, they drop out of school for some very various reasons. And so, yes, that's also a challenge we've taken it upon ourselves to address. And we hope to get more on the necks of policymakers to make sure that policies are not just put in place, but then they are properly implemented so that the people who really need it have access to it.
Great. Is there going to be a global conference of a sort, or something big, one big event that you can have a number of the reps from the various countries attending? Is there any such plan?
In the end of September, there's the post-2015 summit, and then world leaders around the world come together at the UN headquarters in New York for 3 days to discuss this new agenda. We will be present there as well, with as many youth ambassadors as possible, and we present there the outcomes, what we heard from young people. And with that, we hope to inspire them and to remind them that what they are doing is actually for the people, the 7 billion people living in this world. And so they should make policies that address us and that are and not only for us, but also together with us.
How long has this been going on anyway?
Our bike trip is in total half a year.
2.5 years.
Half a year.
Okay.
Yeah. We're 3 months on the road now, and there's 3 months left.
Okay.
And but we are preparing it since February 2014. Yeah, it's a big preparation with all those youth ambassadors.
And what are some of this probably is an aside, but what are some of the challenges and difficulties you've had in this adventure?
Plenty.
Countless.
We started cycling in February, and it was still snowy and rainy in the Netherlands. It was -10. Then we got to the north of Morocco. We had to cycle through such a layer of snow in the Atlas Mountains. Then we came to the desert. It's up to 48 degrees, Mauritania, Sahara. It's like waking up at 6 in the morning and keep on going. We met camels, we met donkeys. At some point I even thought I saw a moonwalking horse. I don't know how it's happening, but it's just amazing,
Yeah, okay, good. And I hope you've not had any major challenges in the various countries that you visit. When you get to the border, what is the clearance process like? Do they just say, okay, these are the 2 guys on the bike from Netherlands?
No, we're not that famous yet. No, not at all. No, we just have to collect our visa. So after this meeting, we go to the plan, just like I just told you, and afterwards we go to the embassy of Benin to get our visa for Benin already. And so it's a planning as well next to the events, but it's lovely and it's great.
But actually, the momentum is raising. So when we get at the border between Ghana and Togo, the national television of Togo is waiting for us, together with our youth ambassador. They will give us a warm welcome.
Okay.
And I hope the guards at the border look at TV3 so they see us right now.
Yes.
Let us pass very easy. Let us pass.
Okay, so I guess that'll be it for now, and we wish you all the best. Any final words?
No, thank you for having us, and it was great being in Ghana.
I would like to mention how they can follow us. They can follow us on Facebook, Building Bridges 2015, and on Twitter by using the hashtag BB2015UN.
Okay, BB2015UN.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to get a bike. Hope to follow you one of these days. Okay, so we've been having a discussion on building bridges, which is a post-2015 agenda. We're looking at how we can get a lot of the youth involved in policy-making, decision-taking, going into the future. And the 2 men who have been championing this cause are Tion Mulepas, he's Building Bridges founder, and then Jild van Schaik, he is the Dutch UN Youth representative. And then in between them, we've had Abna Benoit Fosu, Building Bridges Ghana ambassador, and she has also been telling us what Ghana's participation has been. My name is Martin Isiru.